You know, this wasn't a video I was planning on making. I actually pulled all this stuff out for a different reason, but as luck would have it, my kind of luck, because of my lack of due diligence and poor timing. God, I have so many things I could have blown up. If it wasn't for timing, I get that He-Man power sword that we could have restored and built to tie in with the movie that just came out. Kind of just fucking lazy. What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Retro Creep. How is everyone doing today? There's a company out there called Fanhome, and a while back I signed up for one of their subscriptions. If you're unfamiliar, what Fanhome is all about is their model kits. They're very elaborate, very expensive model kits, and this is real popular over in the UK and Europe, and I believe it started out at magazine stands, where you would jump into a model kit and you would get pieces, say like this. You would get this one week, and it would come with one of these magazines that I flipped through the little book. We'll go through all that. And the magazine would have like a little bit of fun facts about the TV show, maybe about the car, maybe about the actors and actresses or whatever. But it would also have the instructions on how to utilize the parts that you received that week. And I saw the one for the Knight Rider car kit and jumped on it. And this is at a time where I was doing well. I was doing very well. And it was $65 a box, in some cases $75, $80 a box, because I am not in Europe. So I had to get them monthly instead of every week, like most people do. Over time, I just it turned into one of those, where the fuck am I gonna put a car that's over 3 feet long, however tall, in this, like a foot and a half wide, maybe just about a foot wide. I mean, this thing is a beast. So I kept getting the subscription, and I should have jumped on it. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe there's a reason for why I hesitated, and it's gonna all lead up to one of 3 decisions that we all have to make right now. But, as it were, I kind of stopped it at the 50th. I have the 50th issue and the parts that go with it, because I wasn't doing so well financially at the time. So I got rid of a lot of extra things like this. I just couldn't afford the extra $65 to $80 a month. So I put it on hold. Where I'm going with this is we're going to have a little fun. We're going to go through the boxes and just kind of have fun playing around with, oh, look at this part, look at that part, I have 3 decisions to make here. The first decision is try to sell it. Try to sell it all off to someone who wants to, inexpensively get into about half of it and then continue building. But as my luck would have it, again, it's no longer available, so you cannot buy these parts. There are a handful of people on eBay gouging parts for these. Like, one of these bags are like $50 for somebody. And I'm not that type of guy, but if I were to sell these, it would be low and slow, It'd be $20 here, $30 there, $40 here. And it could take a week, it could take 6 years. And I honestly, financially, don't have the time for that. Another option is, I do have a lot of the iconic parts. I know I have the hood, I have all 4 wheels and rims. I believe I have the hatchback, I know I have the dashboard. More importantly, I have what I believe all the electronics for this, including a little watch it came with. And a while back we were talking about me doing a video, maybe a live stream, building the watch. I thought it was an actual, like a cheap digital LCD watch with buttons to press, and would have pre-recorded, hey Michael, the bad guy is trying to put a stick in my tailpipe, can you come down here and help out, that kind of thing. But as it were, the watch is specifically to control the electronics in this car, which is, I think, in a way, cooler, because I don't wear a watch. And in the words of Tommy Chong, I'm sorry, man, I'm not into time. If you know that reference, then you're a real one. So, with that said, another option is to pull out the iconic pieces. And I do have an artist gallery panel. I think it's 2 feet by 1.5 maybe it's a little more square, that I was originally going to make a Ouija board out of, because the face of it is slightly, I think it's about 3/16 of an inch recessed. But if you flip it the other way, it's a good 1.5 inches. So taking the iconic pieces and maybe making like some kind of like a shadow box diorama thing to sell to someone for $300 or $400, I would do it well. I would make sure, you know, it was museum quality. Putting it together, and you would have this really cool, if you're a really big Knight Rider fan, display piece on your wall that you can control with a wristwatch thing, you know? Or, and the option I don't really want to do, but I kinda am morbid curious about it, just start building. Just start looking at issue 1 in this magazine and just start fucking building the thing and seeing how far we get. And maybe try to sell it that way. I didn't even think of that until this very moment. But regardless, we have a couple of options here, and I'm curious, what do you say? But before you do that, or you can do it now, I don't care, go down, you know, do the clicky clacky thing. Let's go through a few of these boxes. I mean, there's not really going to be much to really see that's going to make you ooh and ah, but you can get an idea of what we're talking about and the scale in which this thing, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. You know, they had an E.T., a 1/4 scale E.T. that I wish I had waited for. I would have eaten dirt for a month or two to finish that fucking thing. But I'll hold out for a 1:1 scale E.T., or even like that hamper we talked about with the E.T. toys during Toy Tuesday when we did that on live stream. So regardless, guys, let me flip the camera around. We'll open up a couple of these boxes. There's really only 3, 4, but we don't have to go through them all. Let's look at the electronics and see how cool that is. And then I'll pull out one of the boxes and you know, go through it. We'll go through it and see what we can find. We're not going to find Hoffa or nothing like that, but it is what it is. And also, I have a couple of the extras that came with it. Like this, it's not a full-size license plate. I also have some posters over there. If I remember correctly, they're not printed very well. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. There was a t-shirt, and I gave that to a buddy of mine up in Canada. So let's have a look inside and see if there's anything fun. And honestly, if this is something you'd be interested in, it's going to be a bitch to ship. But worst case scenario, I can use a lot of this as Greeblies. You know, a lot of this would actually look really cool on the droid if I ever get off my ass and make it. So, full-size droid, by the way, out of a pool filter housing. All right, guys, let's have a look at some of this. Hopefully it's some fun. I don't know. I'm just curious as to where you would go with this. And again, I don't know if I said this before, but it's warm in here, so I have a fan going. I apologize. I genuinely apologize if you're getting a lot of white noise and stuff, but so this is pretty stereotypical of what would have come in here. I chose to leave this one aside and leave it with the electronics specifically because this is for the electronics. I did put a note inside my little binder here, which we will look at. We will look at next. Probably should have looked at that first, but to let them know that book 45 was the electronics, and it's in the box with the electronics. So give you an idea what's going on. You know, a little this and that about the car. You know, something about your mom's ass. I don't know. And then after you get through all this crap, you get to the instructions on how to actually deal with this. Here's the watch itself, and there's the dash, or I mean, I should say the front bumper, which has a woo 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 woo. You know what I mean? This would have been a nice car to build. You know what? This is bumming me out. So here's part of the watch. Here's part of the watch. Here's I believe the rest of the watch, and some pieces for inside the car. Some of the wire looms. We got a bunch of LED and more looms. That's the motherboard there for the electronics. This is the one that tells the car what to go woo woo and beep beep, and got a little microphone there. And this is the guts to the watch itself. So how fun would that be for someone to build on their own had I had all the parts? So I put together this binder for, you know, every issue I got, again, except for the 45, which I put into the electronics box. But it's just more of the same. This was the introductory one, and it also has a giant poster of what you'll end up building. It is 1/8 scale, okay. So it is 1/8 scale. Most of it is metal. Of course, the plastic parts are the obvious pieces. And these were some of the freebies that were going to come with it. These posters are, again, not the highest, whatever. I ended up getting 2 of these, and I didn't get one of these on my 4th gift. I'm kind of mad about that now. But I got 2 of these, and none of these. But I got that, and there was a T-shirt that was sent to me at some point. Hopefully you didn't see over here. It's got my address. I think this came with the first issue too. Oh, it's just advertisement on what you can get. There's some really cool stuff. I would suggest going over to Fanhome. Fanhome.com or something like that. They got some really cool models that if you got the money and the time, and more importantly the space, I would highly recommend it. This would have been fun had I jumped on it and just kept it going. But I have 50. This is the last one I got. Let's see what parts came in number 50. Looks like the console, the center console. Let's see. I work alone. Okay. Me too. But I don't make a religion out of it. Michael. Alright, that's cool. Whatever. But yeah, okay, so here I believe is parts of the center console and the dashboard, maybe? So do they have a picture? Yeah, okay, so this is a good example of what I was talking about. This is the part, these are the parts that came with this issue of the magazine. It's technically a magazine subscription, I guess. And it's showing you where in the vehicle this stuff will go. So, I mean, it's not really much to show. Here's the dashboard pieces we were just looking at. So this is the later stuff. The later stuff. And you can start seeing like parts of the interior panel. But more importantly, this is what I wanted to show you. I do have all 4 wheels, rims, and wheel covers. So, I mean, that could be a part of the... Oh, tell me that's not a cool looking Greebly. I might take a mold of that. Holy hell, that's awesome. That's awesome. God, see, I'm so conflicted. And they all have the original seal of whatever the fuck. Here's some other random parts. Maybe engine parts. Well, I don't know. I believe that's the front end of the engine. Yeah, that's all the accessories for the engine. Here's something cool, some of the chassis. And then I have this great big box. I don't remember why this box is so much larger than the others. You know, here's the transmission casing. You need a transmission for your 1/8 scale model. This is metal. This is heavy. I could throw this at somebody, it would hurt. You know, oh, that's metal too. This is the floor pan. Wow, that's really heavy. And I believe this is the hood, yeah. Here, let me get all these little bags out of the way. And one thing I wanted to show you, besides how cool that is, that would make a really good Greebly on my droid, is some of them came in like cards like this, you know? So this is the 4th wheel. The other box has 3 of them. And yeah, here's the hood. Here's the hood. And I don't know, was that the back? Oh no, I guess it's the underneath the hood. And I believe the dashboard's in here somewhere too. Yeah, there's the dashboard right there. And all the pieces. Some suspension pieces. You got a sway bar thing here. I'm trying not to pull these out too much. I think it took me forever just to get them in here. So let me see if I can't find any other iconic pieces here. Yeah, there we go. There's the other part of the nose where the electronics will go. I can't really see it. This would have been cool. I think there's a little more electronics here. In fact, I think that's the actual, yeah, that's the actual LED for the nose. Okay. and a piece of the suspension. Oh, and the battery box. And the battery box. I always use battery boxes, you know? But as I start slowly putting this thing back together, this is the part where I ask you, what do I do with all this, you know? Put that in there like that, like that. The one thing I'm not seeing here are the doors. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. And maybe the doors are in the other. See, a lot of this is metal. A lot of this is metal. Maybe the doors are in here somewhere. There's a big piece of this, the chassis. There's a wheel well, a battery box or something. I don't know. Oh, more metal pieces. Was it the radiator fan? Probably. And the front end suspension pieces, rear end, engine pieces. Yeah, I'm not seeing the doors. I could have sworn I had both doors, but again, maybe they're in another one of the boxes. But help me out, guys. What would you like to see me do with this? I'll leave this up to you guys. I'll leave this up to you guys. Oh, can't forget the transmission. This is bumming me out. I have to find those damn doors now. But let me get all this packed back up. Here's a box I didn't even open. Here's the other half of the floor. It's probably where the battery box goes. I could have sworn I had the fucking doors, but maybe I have to look a little deeper. Maybe I need to get a little knee deep up in there. But I know for a fact I have the very first 50 issues of this thing and all those parts. So again, the options are build it as is and just see how far we get. You know I don't have any of the interior pieces all that much. Maybe we can make it look like it was abandoned, you know, and sell it that way. Without the doors, I'm pretty sure doing a diorama, or I should say a shadow box, might be tough. I know I have the rear bumper. I know I have the front bumper, of course, with the electronics. The 4 tires. I don't think I have the roof. But regardless, guys, what would you do? Maybe I just need to pull all the parts out, look at them, cherry pick what I could use to build something with. Maybe just try to sell it all. I don't know. I really don't know if anyone would be interested. So either way, if there's someone randomly stumbled upon my channel and you'd like the first 50 and then just gamble finding the rest of the pieces, let me know. I will absolutely give you a smoking deal. I will give you a smoking deal. But either way, I genuinely respect and appreciate everybody's opinion on here, whether we get along or not. I know sometimes it sounds like I don't, but I do. It's all part of the conversation, good, bad, or indifferent. But this would have been a really cool thing to have built, and it was for the channel. I got lazy, didn't have time, space, and then ran out of money. So, speaking of which, we're going to be talking about a Patreon here pretty soon. I've already got it somewhat set up, and I need to make a few things for it. I was convinced into it in one of my live streams last week, so I don't know. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Guys, and until next time, wherever in the world you are, I genuinely hope you're all doing well. Take care. Keep it real. Thank you always so much for watching.